Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to At America. For those who have never been here before, At America is the American Cultural Center here in Jakarta. My name is Dina, I'm one of the e-guide here, and I will be more than happy to answer all of your questions regarding At America. And now I would like to give you a glimpse of our upcoming events. So for those of you who are interested about augmented reality, we will have an event tonight into the world of augmented reality. So please come and join us. The event will start at 6:30 p.m. tonight. And next, we will have another I Learned at America. We will have a digital storytelling. So for those of you who are interested, please come and join us on Tuesday, January 15, starting at 6 p.m. This will be the second session out of 4 sessions. And for those of you who are pursuing a higher degree in the United States, we have a free service called Education USA. So if you want to ask about the applications, about the scholarships, you can come every day from Monday until Sunday, starting from 1 p.m. until 9 p.m. And on Saturdays, we are here earlier, starting from 10 a.m. And these are the highlights of our events, and how to stay updated to our events. Simply visit our website at www.atamerica.or.id. Click register, enter your name and email address, and you will be officially our member. And the benefit is you will get newsletter just once a week through your email about our upcoming events. And also, please subscribe to our social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Stellar, and also YouTube channel. And for those of you who still like to tweet, please help spread the love by tweeting to us to @America. And don't forget to use the hashtag @America. And to begin today's event, please give a warm welcome for our MC today, Ahmad Aziz.
Thank you. Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Selamat siang semuanya. Okay, in kevin.com, if I said how are you, you need to say luar biasa, luar biasa, luar biasa 3 times. Okay? How are you? Please more like luar biasa, luar biasa, luar biasa. Okay. How are you? Thank you so much. Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ahmad Aziz. It's a pleasure to welcome you to this afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank for joining us for this special event, the launch of Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy. Please give applause. Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy is a 3-month academy to develop the capacity of YCSE members in Indonesia to be a sociopreneur. There will be a 3 months of exciting activities, starting with coaching classes, leading to 4 days boot camp at Bandung, wrapping up with a presentation and networking to prepare them as a social entrepreneurs. Once more, please give applause for the Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy launch. I would like also to thank you for the awesome speakers here already with us. Stephanie Arifin, Helga, oh yes, she's outside still. And William Gondogusumo also already here. And our awesome moderator, Vania Santoso over there. Please. Yeah, before starting this event, I would like to invite Mr. William Gondogusumo as campaign CEO and also representative of Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy to give the opening remarks. From Mr. William, please.
Terima kasih, thank you Aziz. Halo. Ya, selamat siang. Nama saya William Gondogusumo. Saya adalah CEO-nya campaign.com. Hari ini saya pemimpinin. Kita punya teman-teman dari kedutaan US yang nggak boleh hadir karena di US ada government shutdown ya. Mungkin ada yang baca berita tentang isu itu. Di sini juga agak menaruh gitu. Ya. Tapi satu tim semua itu pingin banget datang dan mau kirim salam juga, wishing all the best for us gitu. Ya, karena di sini satu negara, satu pemerintah besar di US ada posi-posi yang sepenuh hati mau engage dan bantu kita di Indonesia juga. Ya. So ini kita kirim regards dari Sean McKay. Dia itu adalah Entrepreneurship Program Manager for the Economic Section, dengan Pak Jed Donberg, dia itu at America punya Director. Kita sebagai dari campaign juga mau terima kasih banget ke Ibu Rosi, Pak Matt, Pak Curtis, Dani, Brenda, Vania, Krima, dan semuanya yang still doing their best. Karena sesuai peraturan dia boleh kerja, tapi masih pingin untuk program ini bisa jalankan gitu. So seminggu ini agak lucu sih, dia gak boleh kasih instruksi, kita gak bisa koordinasi, tapi pakai kayak wayang-wayang gitu. Ya, tapi akhirnya kita juga launch-nya on time gitu. Ya. Ini nanti kita bakal sharing apa sih Academy ini. Mungkin di sosmed udah kelihatan seposi, hari ini juga kesempatan nanti bisa interaksi sama kita to find out more gitu. Program ini kita design together with the YCSE, together with the US Embassy dengan juga Plus untuk bikin satu program yang menurut kita bisa bantu kickstart a social entrepreneur. Ya, tujuannya itu khusus ini satu program as an engagement untuk the youth of Indonesia. So ini itu what is the purpose, what is the objective, that's the only objective. Gak ada tujuan lain. This is gak ada kayak what's the charge and fee and everything. All this itu disupported oleh the US Embassy. And who is this for? This is for the youth of Indonesia. Ini dari kita semua gitu. Ya, so kalau ada apa-apa nanti tolong just let us know gitu. Terima kasih semuanya.
Terima kasih banyak Pak William. Nanti kalau misalnya teman-teman ingin tanya lebih lanjut tentang program ini, akan ada talk show. Jadi silakan kalau masih tadi kayak mikir-mikir kira-kira apa ya programnya dan segala macam. In the talk show, like Pak William will answer the questions. Okay? Right now, I would like to invite the awesome moderator for today. She is a co-founder of Startic, which is aims to raise awareness on climate actions by providing access to exotic yet ethical fashion. Startic also has brought Ms. Santoso to opportunity to be one of 150 participants recognized as the most dynamic global woman and youth entrepreneurs, and to participate the 7 Global Entrepreneurship Summit in Silicon Valley in 2016. Please welcome Ms. Vania Santoso, founder Startic. Introduksinya panjang, Vania. Ya, silakan, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Aziz. Okay, how are you? Ya, barusan tadi dibahas. How are you? Jawabannya apa? When you say luar biasa, that means it's super incredible. So you really need to say it with all your energy. So how are you? Luar biasa, luar biasa, luar biasa. Because this is Friday, so we need to be energetic as we can as well. Because today we have something special about this launching program. I'm so thankful and honored to be here, flying all the way from Surabaya this morning to be with you all. Because this is super interesting, and as a part of the social entrepreneurship, as a part of social entrepreneurs fellow here, I'm so happy to be moderating this event that I'm pretty sure we are going to get inspired by our awesome speakers as well. So without further ado, I'd like to invite the very first speaker. We have Stephanie Arifin from Director at Plus, Platform Usaha Sosial. So Stephanie comes to Plus with global experience in both the profit and also non-profit sector. Thank you. You may have it, please. Yeah. And she led various marketing efforts at Habitat for Humanity after founding her own company, which provides her with the perfect foundation to support social entrepreneurs on their journey. And she is a strong believer in and deeply passionate about power of social entrepreneurship and all its possibilities. So Stephanie is very excited to grow Plus, the platform Usaha Sosial, into an even more inclusive organization, lifting up social enterprises and helping them to increase their social impact throughout and beyond Indonesia. And I'm so thankful as well as part of the Plus mentee because it's been having so much modules that we really can learn it in their open platform. So you'd better check about Plus as well. All right, so moving on, we have our second speaker. So for those who love to eat, so you must be very excited about this social enterprise. It's Burgreens, and we have Helga Angelina Tjahjadi with us. So Helga is the co-founder and managing director of Burgreens. Thank you so much, Helga. She is a social entrepreneur who is passionate about health, wellness, and also the environment. Helga established Burgreens, Jakarta's first organic healthy plant-based fast food with a social mission back in 2013. And Burgreens now already has 6 F&B outlets in Jakarta. She was also named in the 30 under 30 the arts list by Forbes Asia in 2016. So we already have 2 awesome female speakers. And of course, the last one, we also have the handsome one. Yeah. So we have Pak William Gondokusumo. So Pak William Gondokusumo is the CEO campaign and also the representative of this program that we are going to launch together, the Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy. He is a social tech entrepreneur based in Indonesia, and he has lived and worked in Singapore, Shanghai, London, and Boston before deciding to settle back home in Jakarta. Witnessing in the tremendous opportunity and the profound need of the economical and social development, he left the family business in 2015 and finally founded campaign.com, or in Instagram you can find it at campaign_id. Since then, he and his team has helped individuals, companies, and also organizations to better organize sustainable campaigns that you can check it on with the hashtag 4Change. So we already have our all speakers here. Could we please give a round of applause again? Okay, so first thing first, welcome to America and also to this session. And how are you all today? Great. Luar biasa. Exactly, that's supposed to be the answer. Since he is the director of campaign, so he really aware of it. Okay, so what is your current activity? Maybe we can start from Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Thanks for having me, first of all. I'm glad to be here. So many new faces, so many young faces. I am so happy. So what we are doing at Plus, we are doing a lot of things, which is also, that means there's a lot of activity, so it's super exciting. We just finished our 1-year-long research with British Council, which I will share with you guys as well, all the data and facts that we have found about social enterprises in Indonesia. We are starting on a few projects that help entrepreneurs in Lombok, and we are starting out to build our offline community support system for social enterprises as well. Because one of the problems is that, we are also concentrated in Jawa, particularly Jakarta, that people outside of Jakarta is somehow excluded from a lot of the help. And online is not 100% the answer. So we're trying as much as we can to be offline. So that's part of our big project vision for 2019.
Thank you, Stephanie. What about Helga?
Hello, everyone. I'm Helga. Basically my activity is run Burgreens full time. So for those of you who do not know Burgreens yet, Burgreens is an organic healthy eatery. We're specialized in delicious, healthy, ethical, and sustainable food. One of our outlets is downstairs, so we should check it out after after this. Like talking about food, you cannot really taste it, right? You can only imagine where. Yeah, so just try it later. We closed the year with 6 outlets last year. So this year, my focus is to grow, to continue to expand. We're planning to open 3 more outlets in the next coming 6 months. And we're actually piloting a second brand, new concept, so not going to reveal too much, but it's going to be like still plant-based, delicious, but yeah, it's going to happen also in the next coming 6 months. And afterwards, we're preparing to go to other cities. So that's my current activity, just to prepare the systems. Yeah.
Thank you, Helga, for sharing with us a bit the teaser of your upcoming line. So very looking forward for it. And also Pak William.
Hello again. I'm from campaign. I think a lot knows what we're doing, but our focus is to create safe spaces, both online and offline. Right now, like what you're saying, mainly in Jakarta, but we're trying to go outside of Jakarta, outside of Java also. And I would like to, I'm actually an accidental social entrepreneur. I thought I was just an entrepreneur, but somehow the heart led to creating something like campaign. And I was told that campaign is a social enterprise by a lot of friends, and I didn't know what it was at first. I was in denial for 6 months. So I got my akui gitu, because I thought I'm a businessman, but what can we do? The heart goes where it goes, right? And so campaign has kept moving, and we appreciate the support from like US Embassy and some NGOs, and also mulai local companies and local brands. Like Burgreens is an excellent example of companies that the social mission is key. Without the social mission, the company falls apart. It's just because it doesn't work, right? And kita percaya, we believe that if all businesses has a social mission, I think the world will be a more equal place. I think the economy will be stronger, more robust. And today, this academy, we will try to find more Helgas of the world.
All right, thank you so much for William, the accidental social entrepreneur. That's interesting. Okay, so since Stephanie also mentioned about the research that you conducted in partnership with ESCAP and British Council, so would you mind to share a bit with us about that research? Because I'm pretty sure there is going to be eye-opening as well for us about the landscape of social enterprise in Indonesia.
First of all, I forgot to put this download link on the slide, so I'm sorry. But if you go on your phone, it's on tinyurl.com/BC Research 2018. And you can download the whole research. It's 100-page long, so I do not have 2 days. So please go to it and read it, because there's a lot of data and at how we do it, so you guys can see how we came up to these numbers as well. So quickly, we have recapped quite a lot of, from the top, I guess. British Council and us partnered to survey about the landscape of social enterprise in Indonesia. We surveyed almost 500 entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs in Indonesia, and we collected their data, their problems, their situations. But not just that, we also covered what is happening from the government side, what is happening from the enabler side, to get a very full picture of what truly is happening. And but today I'm just going to quickly cover about the social enterprise section. Where do I point this at? There we go. So British Council have performed this similar research in different parts of the world, so we're just one of them. So the objective was to, again, not just find out the number of social enterprises, but also the quality and the problem they're facing. What do they need? How are we providing solutions to their problems? And I think everyone here would ask me the same question, which I will answer you now. What is the definition of a social enterprise? That was also one of the problems when we were facing as we were doing the research, because everyone have different definitions, kind of what it really means. And because we were working with British Council, we had to go along with what their definition was. And to let you guys know, I'm going to refer to my notes, sorry. It means the definition of a social enterprise in the Asian context would be any businesses which is primarily motivated by a social or environmental mission and plans to reinvest their profits from its earned income or revenue towards the mission. So that was the definition that we went along with this research, so just so everyone's on the same page. So these are we surveyed them through questionnaires, interviews, observations, and these are kind of the overall snapshot that we covered about these social enterprises, so it's pretty big. So again, please log on to that URL, I'll say it again, to download this report. So out of the 495, almost 500 respondents, we identified 467 of them as social enterprises. So they have ultimately checked the checkbox that we had for them, and which is pretty high. Out of 495, we had 467. So that's promising. But okay, next. So our findings. So this is a quick, I think, 4 or 5 slide summary of just the landscape. So the estimated of social enterprise number right now, we have it at 342,000. I know it sounds a lot, but if you log on again, if you go on to the research, we have our methodology of how we came up to the numbers. We used some prevalence rate that we received, and we multiplied it by the number of SMEs in Indonesia, and we come up with that number. It's not necessarily accurate, but we do think that's a pretty good number to begin with. The sectors are mainly creative industries, and these cover crafts, agriculture, and education, which has been pretty consistently the top 3 sectors throughout the landscape of social enterprise. Let's see, what else? Oh, I think that's interesting. The beneficiaries is the community, women, and young people, which of course speaks to a lot of other programs. I mean, if you talk to corporates, a lot of them now target communities, young people, and women. So again, it kind of resonates with the real world, with the real corporate world, and we're not in our own little bubble, if you will. Gender, we are pretty equal when it comes to gender, so no discrimination of men or women, either one. So we're happy with that number. Again, the barriers to growth, not surprisingly, if I ask 10 enterprises what do they need, they'll answer me money, of course. But to be honest, that's not what you need. Well, not 100% anyway. I know everyone needs money, but it's not the only thing you need. So there's lack of capital, there's lack of getting grant, which is self-funding, and more importantly, there is not enough staff or qualified staff, because one of the problems is once they train somebody good enough, they leave or they get poached, and then they have to do it all over again. And this whole process is time-consuming, cost, tiring, and it's hard to find people. So people and money are 2 very, very big problems. And growth plans, very promising. They all look very happy, so we're also happy about that. I think I can pass this. It's increasing. More and more social enterprises are popping up in Indonesia, so it's a very growing, budding industry to be in, for sure. Location, this I have to say is slightly skewed because most of our correspondents are from Java, so unfortunately we don't have that much efficient data from outside of Java. But again, which was why one of our target this year is to be outside of Java. So this is our number. We can skip this. We can skip this. Again, all of this will be in the research, in the report. What else do we have that's probably interesting? Future expectation, grant, la 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 la. Final resources. I think I should cover enough. I think most of these would be covered in the report, which again it will be. Hold on, let me double check. It will be, the website is www.tinyurl.com, BC Research 2018. So it is a 100-page report. Please take your time reading through it. There's a lot of data. Thank you. tinyurl1word.com/BC Research 2018, also one word.
Okay, thank you so much, Stephanie, for sharing a bit of the report here. And to follow up about this presentation that Stephanie just shared, so I'd like to ask, since you mentioned that in the past 2 years, there is quite increasing number of the social enterprise itself, so is there any reason why or what makes the social entrepreneurs really do that kind of business?
I think generally, I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, panels, but more and more young people are now entering the workforce, and more young people are that much more interested in impact. I think most of us have been lucky enough where we are taught about it, and we now want to be a part of it. So there is more and more an increasing interest, whether you're a businessman or whether you're an NGO, to even be a social enterprise. So it's not just new businesses, but even old businesses want to be more and more socially responsible. So I think in that sense, a lot of young people are pushing this to move forward, which is very, very optimistic. I mean, you can tell everyone's here is really young. So I think that's one of the reasons why, one of the strong reasons why it's growing so much. It's just because young people are now our future leaders.
Wow, future leaders. And also talking about the impact itself, is there any way that the social entrepreneurs can really measure the impacts that they have?
This has always been one of the hot topics, measurement. Soalnya, I guess in a social enterprise, you have two things to measure. One is the business, and then one is the impact. I'm sure, Helga, you can share a lot about how you measure it. And the problem is every industry have their own definition, have their own things that they measure. What more, there is no legalities that really hold them accountable for these measurements. So everyone's kind of measuring different things. So you cannot really, it's hard to compare two measurements from 10 different companies. So I think that is one of the problems about impact measurement. And how do they measure it? I think, again, unfortunately, I do not have one answer because every industry is different, every company is different, every stage is different. There's that business, there's the impact, how do they interchange, how do they intertwine? It's very, very complex. But what is definitely important is that before you start a social enterprise, at the very least, in your company itself, within the company, know what you're measuring. Because a lot of times they don't start with that. So as they go, it's all jumbled up and all messy. So whether there's a regulation or not, at the very least, discuss it with your team, discuss it with your enablers, supporters, find out what you should measure and what you should not, and decide that from the start, from the beginning. And I think that will be very, very helpful.
Thank you, Stephanie. So it is like a kind reminder for us who'd like to establish a social enterprise. Make sure that we will be really ready to measure both, either the business side as well as the impact side.
It's not easy, but unfortunately you have to do it. Because if we're talking about getting funding and all the next steps, these are all, you have to prove all of these in numbers.
Yes.
You cannot just say it and they believe it. You need to show all these track record, all these measurements, and have them ready.
Right, thank you so much, Stephanie. And that is why we also have Helga here with us, because she, as a practitioner, maybe can share with us about the measurement that she does in the Burgreens. But before, let's ask Helga first about the experience that she had until finally she co-founded Burgreens. So maybe you'd like to share with us?
So like briefly,
The reason why.
The reason why.
Yes.
So I guess for me, the reason why I started was started because I wanted to solve my own pain. So when I was like 6 months old, so I've had autoimmune diseases. So I had a combination of asthma, sinusitis, and eczema, which was triggered by multiple allergies. So I was allergic to 20 food substances, dust, cold. So like my childhood was basically I had to take like antibiotics for as long as I remember until I was in junior high. And I was treated with medical treatment because my mom is a doctor, but it didn't work. And I actually suffered from some side effects of the prolonged drug that I took. So I was actually looking for an alternative to heal myself, and I found it through diet. So like a quote by Einstein actually was what struck me into like learning more about nutrition, the whole food plant-based diet, because Einstein was a vegetarian, and he actually said that nothing will benefit human health and increases environmental sustainability more than an evolution to a vegetarian diet. So it got me curious, right? Like if one smart man says this, like there must be a reason. So I was reading a lot about a lot of books about alternative healing, and I found that nutrition book which recommended me to adopt a whole food plant-based diet. So I tried for 2 years. And basically my diseases were just gone completely. No medication. I was off medication. So it's been 15 years since I changed my diet, and I've never consumed any medicines at all, like for 15 years. So from that, I started growing my passion for like healthy plant-based food. And it was when I met my partner, Max, in back in the Netherlands. So we used to work in a same restaurant, and he also has the same passion. For me, it was for health, but for Max, it was for environmental reason. So Max, my partner, is an environmentalist, and like he loves animals, he loves everything. Like he just loves every living being, I guess. And there was one report produced by United Nations in 2010 saying that one of the most effective ways you can do to reverse climate change is by changing your diet to a plant-based or at least a plant-rich diet. So he became vegetarian after that, and because we were dating, so we were actually cooking things for ourselves because we both love to eat, and we were just thinking, like everyone would want to be healthy, right? Nobody wants to be sick and suffer from sickness for years. Nobody. And everyone loves environment, and they wanted good. They want to do good for sure, but it was the lack of food alternative that made people eat whatever was available in the market. So starting from passion, and we thought, like our cooking was not that bad. Well, it was mostly Max cooking. I could not cook at all. Until now, I cannot cook, even though I am a restaurateur. So we just took the leap of faith to come back to Indonesia. And we started Burgreens very humbly. It was in my friend's house back in Rempoa. It's not even on the main street. It's like in a housing complex. And somehow, I think it was a combination of luck and the right momentum and a lot of like persistence going through hardship. Somehow it worked. So actually we got a lot of buzz, and a lot of people will drove even from Kelapa Gading, way to the south to Rempoa. So weekends are always full. Weekdays are okay. We were saved by that online food delivery service. So third, in the second year, we also took the leap of faith to open another branch in Tibet. It was also in our friend's house. And, like the buzz kept growing. More and more people knew and were interested and became loyal customers. And in the third year, we were actually approached by some investors. Basically, they said they like the product, so they're our customers. And they said that, it would be great if we can be more accessible to the mainstream by opening in strategic locations. So we got our first angel investment about 2 years ago, and that's where when we started growing, like opening more outlets and in malls as well. And yeah, so that was probably like the brief history of Burgreens.
Thank you so much, Helga, for sharing your personal story. So it's very inspiring on how she started Burgreens coming from her own problem, because it like to heal herself. So it really is about how we can find the problem, even it from our own self or maybe our surrounding, but then after really understanding the problem, then we can move forward to find the solution. Thank you, Helga. And then moving on to our previous question about the measurement itself. So how could you measure the impact for your business as well as for your social impact as well?
Yeah. So it started with the business model, right? Just like William, we didn't know that we were a social enterprise. Actually, the founder of Plus was the one who told us, Bufero, you're a social enterprise, really? Like we don't even know that definition exists, We just thought that it's a passion business. So when we started, we were already a farm-to-table restaurant. So our social mission was to source most of our ingredients directly from local farmers. Because when we started the business, we learned that in the food chain in Indonesia, farmers they're very poor, but actually, so in the supply chain, they're excluded from the supply chain. They don't have market access directly, so they had to sell through middlemen, and they had to sell like at a very inequitable pricing, not like completely unfair, I would say, very cheap. If you buy seikat bayam gitu ya di pasar, it's like 5,000, right? Farmers get 500, so it's 1/10 of the price that you pay in the market. So starting from that, for us it just doesn't make sense, right? They're the ones who do the hard work, but they don't get paid enough for the hard work and the love that they do. So we try to cut the middleman by sourcing directly. So our measurement, social measurement at that point was how many farmers we work with and how much percentage of our food cost that goes directly to the local farmers. But as we grew, we also started learning that as a social enterprise, you can grow your business by opening more outlets in my case, but also you can also enhance or you can scale your impact through your employment practices or through your marketing practices. So we started having a company policy to employ mostly underprivileged women in our central kitchen, and that's how we measure as well, like how many of them work with us and how much increase of income they got since they they joined Burgreens, and like like every year there has to be an increase and like fair incentives, bonuses from from the whole team, from the company performance. They get like profit sharing as well. So that's how we measure. And since our marketing has always been about market education, basically we're doing two programs. Burgreens goes to school and Burgreens goes to offices. We go to schools and offices to educate people about healthy and sustainable eating in a fun way. We charge very low for that, and sometimes we actually accept CSR grants to be able to educate people for free. So the amount of the number of people that join our programs, education programs, are also measured. So that's the quantitative measurement, yeah. As for the quality, every year we go to our suppliers, partner suppliers, and team members, and we do surveys about how they spend the money that they get from Burgreens. Because obviously, if I actually got this idea from YCAP. YCAP did national research about how different like men and women from lower income class would spend their money. So the male, they would spend money first on cigarettes before the children's education. This is like survey, like I'm not making this up. So, and the women would actually spend their money for like food, family's food, and then the children's education, then personal leisure. So that got me thinking, that got us thinking that actually the way people spend the money that they got from us is actually also very important to know, and it's also part of our decision making when where we choose suppliers. So that's what we measure as well every year. But I agree totally with Stephanie. We came up with these metrics ourselves. Like there was no standardized form
formula
that we could do. So for us, it was just a logical thinking to measure depending on what business model we have, right? And obviously, the financial aspect, we do like all the businesses. We measure as how other businesses measure the performance, like revenue, gross margin, net profit, and then the growth every year for all those three as well. So yeah.
Okay. I'm just wondering when you mentioned about like cutting the middleman, and then you just mentioned as well about how you can really measure how they spend their income, how they spend their income, and then how you educate your market itself. So for me, it sounds like so challenging. So how do you deal with that obstacles? Like for example, from the middleman part. So how could you really get the supply directly from the local farmers without being offended by the middleman, that maybe they could gain less than they used to get, or that kind of things?
So in the first place, we were looking for suppliers that work with NGOs. Many NGOs, we figured out that we cannot do everything ourselves. I mean, we're such a small team, especially when we started, right? So we chose to work with NGOs that work with farmers. These NGOs are the ones who do the field work. They're transforming conventional farmers to organic farmers. So they have the pricing of their produce is increased, because organic produce is about like twice or three times more not expensive, but like it's the cost of real food, I would say, but it's three times more expensive than the conventional produce. So NGO, and then afterwards, it was through an organic association that is working with grassroots communities in Indonesia. we just reach out directly. If it's close to Jakarta, we visit the area. If not, we ask our friends from the Organic Association to do the check, to do the like field observation and test whether it's really organic. It's very cost effective and it actually works. Here, I would say peer recommendation really works more than looking for the organic certified produce because it's too expensive. Many farmers cannot afford it and they don't even know there is such things exist, you know. And we work with mid-sized and smallholder farmers. So a lot of them do not have that certification. So we didn't have the problem to to offend the middleman because we reach out to them directly. Yeah.
Great. So what about the main challenge that Burgreens have so far?
We've been around for 5 years. So we've gone through, I think, 2 phases of any startup, ya, mau social startup atau like normal, conventional startup. The first 3 years was the survival phase, right? It was everything, kayak all the challenges coming from all direction, all departments, everything. I think if I look back, the main challenge was because I was a fresh grad that just jumped into the business without really knowing anything about how to properly manage a business, how to, I didn't know about finance at all. So I started Burgreens without knowing how much profit we made, how much loss we made, possibly, right? We just knew that cash in was more than cash out. So it was a very cowboy way of like doing a business in the beginning gitu. Jadi as you can see, but as you can imagine, I had so many financial problems, cash flow problems, people problem, people come and go within like 3, sometimes days. Karena kan we work with blue collars and we didn't know how to manage them at that time, ya kan. It was like super chaotic lah. And I was from the Netherlands, so I had no experience working with blue collars in Indonesia. It was like culture shock, all shock came to that like survival stage. But we learned. I think the most important skill you need to have while you start your business is just to learn from your mistakes or others' mistakes, other people, books, everything, YouTube, whatever. Just learn, you know. After the first 3 years, things got easier because I think we are more experienced in like dealing with so many problems. So we tried to implement systems and we started hiring the right people. I started hiring the right middle management team. It was in our 4th year. So the first 3 years it was just me and my husband. Chaotic, like so much work. You work 7 days for like 16 hours a day, no break. Terrible. But like those things you remember, right? You learn the most in those phase, I think, in that phase. So in the 4th stage, the challenge was more around leadership issues. So I had to learn about how to be a leader. In the first 3 years, I had to do everything myself. So I had to learn about the technical skill. But in the 4th year, when I started having more people in my team, I had to learn how to become a leader that can empower them. But at the same time, I had to implement systems to control many things, right? So I had a system problem. Actually, last year, we had like internal fraud. 5% of our yearly revenue, so it's a lot of money. But we learn. So I learned my finance and control degree from that experience. So this year, I would say loopholes are closed. We have very good systems. We have the right people in the team. But like the pain was, like system and people.
Thank you so much for sharing. So it really is about learning on how we can really learn from each and another mistake that we might make. And also Helga mentioned about the importance of collaboration as well, knowing the partners that we can really reach out to and also trying to get peer recommendations so that we really know where and how to get to the right partners as well. So thank you so much, Helga, for sharing.
You're welcome.
And now moving on, let's hear further about this program. So about the Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy. where hopefully we all can really learn more about the social entrepreneurship itself. So, Pak William, could you please explain about this program?
The program itself, I think, from the first two speakers, shows us the motivation why we want to have this program, why the US Embassy wants to work with us to create this program. If you did see the landscape, yes, it's a great opportunity, but it's a very difficult landscape still. There's a lot of knowledge gaps, there's things that needs to be done. I agree 100% what you said, like learning is important, because we shouldn't be afraid of mistakes. Don't be afraid of mistakes. But mistakes are expensive. Mahal. Every mistake is a cost, right? So in one way, cannot be afraid of mistakes, because when it happens, you need to learn from it and move on. But there is also a way that you should learn as much as you can before you start, right? That you may not have learned about the business, but you learned about veganism, you learned about how it's good. So all this groundwork was important, essential. Make sure you do as much groundwork as you can. Right? And this is something we are trying to do, the academy. It's a 3-month academy to develop the capacity of YCSE members. If you haven't joined, please join YCSE. It's a great community, a great network, and there are a lot of programs, opportunities like the academy and many, many more that you can join. Right? And next, me. Laugh. Point there. Okay. So the benefits, there are a lot of benefits. There are 4 coaching classes. It will be held here, 2 of them here and 2 in Campaign Hub. In the coaching classes, we're giving tips, we're giving advice, more sharing sessions that you receive today, right? Then you apply. You apply for the Academy for Young Changemakers. Itu 3 hari, it will be in Bandung, right? It's a nice retreat. We found it will be comfortable, a lot of knowledge, but something interesting, something different. Pesertanya is not just you, one person. It's your team. A team of 3 to 4 can come together. So it's a team building also. The importance of having a solid team, I'm sure both of you will agree, is essential. And a lot of times it's not the things you're doing. It's the understanding, it's the trust. Right? So there will be a lot of activities for you to come together as a team, to bond together, and to learn from other teams. Right? Also, and then we'll create a small network within the 10 groups, the 30 to 40 of you. And after that, there will be an opportunity to learn from other alumni. Right? There are a lot of US alumni, US grads who come back to Indonesia wanting to work hard. You know? Myself, I learned a lot there, but I realized what's there doesn't always apply here. Bukan artis lalos or there is better. Right? But there's a process that we can learn to communicate with each other with. Right? There will also be a mentoring from us, from campaign, and also from the at America team. And also, this is the exciting part for us. It's not just the academy, there's also opportunity. At the end of this period, your social enterprise can have a launch event here. Right? Like what Stephanie was sharing, 71% are planning to launch a new product or service. So the idea is, sekarang, you all are the audience. We're going to switch it around. Right? So the end of the process, we'll be inviting the America team, we'll be inviting people from Plus and everything to come here and hear you speaking. Right? So this is something that we are very excited about, because I think all of us share the same motivation. We want more of us. We want more social entrepreneurs in this country, in this world. Right? So the timeline, so the registration started January 2nd, very hardworking, start of the, right? First working day, we were working already, so good job, team.
So you guys didn't have New Year break yet?
No. Right? Indonesia enak, there are 4 New Years.
Yeah,
Banyak
true.
tahun baru di Indonesia. Very happy. Yeah, hari ini tanggal 11 is the launching of the program. Thank you all for coming. The coaching classes, we will share the schedule, 31st to 21st. Quite interesting. And then there will also be some voting online, etc. We will announce the 10 best proposal on 11th of March. This is a nationwide thing, so that even if you apply from Makassar, you apply from somewhere else, it is covered to come for the program. And then there will be, then the 3 days in Bandung, Then there will be presentation and networking at America right here. Right, so we'll come back here where this space is quite amazing. Ada lokasi kayak gini di PP is mahal ya. Yeah, but they open it up, it's always free and it's great to use as long as it's clear social missions. We all do events here, we've been invited here. We want more people to be able to use spaces like this also. All right, so this is the hashtag Be Sociopreneur. I know grammatically it's not correct, but yeah, it's a nice hashtag. Right, you can find out more at campaign.com/BeSociopreneur. Right, and I think something that came up just now, which I heard, the question is like, jadi entrepreneur is hard enough to be a founder. It's hard enough to do a business. Do we really need to add on one more layer to make it into a social entrepreneur? Is it worth it or not? Right? And what I want to share is that, of course, yes, but why is it worth it? There are many, many reasons. Right? We're talking about, personally, you're much more motivated. If it's just creating a business purely for money, yes, that's a strong motivation. But there's always something missing. Ada sesuatu yang a missing piece. Right? When you put the social in it, me personally, that was the missing piece in just a normal business. Right? Also, we're talking about employees, karyawannya and everything. When you are clearly defined social entrepreneurship, you get more motivated, a much more motivated team. Right? In campaign, we don't have jam masuk, jam pulang. We don't have that tap dempor everything. But to be honest, they're there before me. They're later. It's crazy. It's Saturday, Sunday. They're all, and I'm inspired by the team. You know, and I'm just saying, like, wow, I don't see this in other companies where you have the most attractive incentive scheme, performance schedule, everything, all the best systems in the world, and they're like, oh, telah kena macet. You know, it's always there. But over here, it's like, hujan banjir, they're still there, you know? And I'm like, you know, and like for yourself, like you found investors came to you, right? That is crazy, that's amazing. Investors will come to you and saying, hey, I'm going to give you time to fulfill your mission. I'm not going to ask you for a profit expectation that is unreasonable, that will make you lose your social mission. That is so crucial. Titik awalnya is harder to be a social enterprise. But once you push past it, it's a much better journey. Yeah?
Yeah, if I can add also, I think part of being a social entrepreneur is being good to something and someone else other than yourself and your business. And honestly, not trying to sound hippie, but when you're good to something, it's also good to you. Like for example, Helga, when you treat your farmers fair, they will treat you fair as well. They'll give you the best products. They'll treat you the best. They'll treat you the nicest. I mean, it's not that you're trying to bribe them, but it's just a natural process of when you're treating something with respect, with kindness, with love, you'll also receive the same thing. And that's just a natural, I think, cycle. And I think that's also one of the beauty of, you know, what makes a social entrepreneur different.
Yeah, and it's very worth it. Excellent point. Thanks for sharing that also. And so people will come to you, will look for you, right? And you show a lot of numbers, but behind each number is 500 stories that you have talked to, you have met, everything, and reached out to, you know, to find out more. And that helps. Because entrepreneurship is sometimes a very lonely thing. It's very, very lonely, right? But when you're a social entrepreneur, that kindness reflected lowers that loneliness, increases the motivation, and that actually gives you a much better chance of success. Because for any business to success, it takes great motivation, perseverance to push past it. So yes, number one was capital, right? But from my experience, number one sometimes is motivation to keep going when you really just want to give up, right? Because a lot of you here, banyak di sini, the people we met in campaign, the people we meet, you can get a great job with a much higher pay if you go to a corporate route. And if you need the funding, if you need the cash, go for it, it's okay. You can still be involved, you can still contribute, but being a social entrepreneur is worth it, right? And we hope, but it's not easy. It's very not easy. I grew up dari kecil di luar negeri. I studied overseas, everything. When I could come back, I immediately came back, right? And I was also big culture shock and everything. But the culture shock for me wasn't, my culture shock was there's still so much, there's a lot of gratefulness in our society, in this country. There's a gratefulness that, hey, things may not be good now, but we still want to make the best of it. You know, setiap kali there is a gempa or anything, the way people come together is amazing, right? And donations and doing campaign, meeting people, there's a lot more we can do. It's not easy. So a program like this is designed after a lot of experience, also input from Plus, and Plus will be involved. Those numbers won't just be numbers. Later, download the report first. But once you come for the academy, they will share with you behind the numbers. And that is, I'm very excited.
We can see the excitement. Thank you so much. So, Pak William, when you mentioned about this program, this Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy, so just to clarify, so in what kind of states for the social entrepreneurs that could join this program?
Okay, for us, it's prototype. You must have tried to start it already. So there are two types, product or services.
Yes.
Right? If it's a product, let's say it's a restaurant, vegan or food, you should at least have worked on the recipe, tried it, and tried to go to market, like friends and family market. Yeah, coba dulu, does the cost make sense? Yeah, if habis buat, it costs like 500,000, nggak mungkin gitu, ya. Is it possible? But just to make sense, doesn't mean you have to already produce it, nggak, ya. Just think about it. If it's a service, it could be like a cleaning service, it could be a laundry service, all these things, but hiring
Less advantaged communities.
less advantage, thank you. Less advantaged communities, like what you're doing with your central kitchen. There's also, doesn't mean you need to already start hiring them, but at least think, which community are you looking for, and talk to a few of them. Talk to a community, right? We just want that little bit of preparedness. If you're not sure, the 4 coaching clinics can help you. That's why the application process is open to 11th of February. Right? Take your time with the application. We really thought about this. So even if you have nothing today, you have no clue apart from, wow, I want to be a social entrepreneur. I want to be number 501. I want to be location number 7. You know? This is the point to start. But by the time you apply, please have a prototype in mind.
Okay, so prototype is the minimum one, and is there any maximum or the limit for those who are already having a social enterprise running currently?
Well, you don't qualify. If you have funding, you're at 6, 7 locations, you're going to do a secondary brand. No, you qualify to teach. Yeah, like what you're doing now, mentor and everything, which is great. Thank you. Yeah. So prototyping everything. There are other programs if you are more ready. It's like check out the YCSE website, check out campaign website. Plus also has a lot of resources. But we're going for prototype. Oh yeah, one more. Team of at least 3 or 4. Need to start trying to convince 2 or 3 people to join your team now. Right? I mean, use this as an excuse. Yuk, ke Bandung bareng nih. And those 2 things, prototype and have a team
Have
there.
the team.
Yeah, and Indonesian based.
Indonesian based. Okay, thank you so much. So we kind of have figured out about what this program about, and now I'd like to open the question and answer for the participants who might be already having some questions to ask our panelists. It could be about the social enterprise or maybe about the program specifically.
Hi. Good.
Sorry, what's your name?
My name is Vidya, and good afternoon. I think it's still afternoon. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I do have a question, but before that, I would like to express my gratitude for you guys who is providing things like that to help us who just started. So me, I spent 2 years of my career being a power system engineer till I decided to take a leap of faith to make money doing something I love and hopefully leave impact a little bit here and there. So I have a question about this program. I am interested to join for sure, but do you have, and my product is it's a physical product, and do I need to send it to campaign, or I just need to make in a paper or something like that as a business plan, or I don't know. And then the second is, do you have like a maximum quota for this? So if I'm not mistakenly remember, the first session would be the coaching session. So after we apply, do we need to go through selection thing, or everyone who applies will go through coaching, or what? So thank you so much. And thank you again for this.
You're welcome. Thank you for your question. Yeah. Okay, so for the product itself, you don't have to send it to us. You can take pictures. It can be a sketch. It can be a drawing. If it's food, you want to send it, it's fine.
Testers.
My team would finish it very quickly. But no, it's not a requirement to send. We want to make sure that there's no cost. There's not much cost to it. We want to make it as cost-friendly as possible. The coaching clinics are open to all, right? To come as you fine-tune your application. That is the process, right? Because it's not we want to make sure you have the best chance of success. Then we will be giving recommendations to the American team and US Embassy. We'll filter it out. Then we'll pick the 10. Yeah, so that's the process. The maximum cap, oh yeah, I answered all the questions. Right? Did I miss anything? Okay, thank you. Sorry. I should write.
Thank you. And moving on to the next question.
Thank you and good morning. My name is Merika. Actually this is interesting topics for me because I have some problem with Helga. I have some allergic with the food, and I joined a campaign from Campaign ID, collaborate with Investing in Moment. So I really hope that I can be joined again like this event. But maybe I will ask about, I'm a psychology student, so I don't have a thing about the sociopreneur, but I want to that you give me some advice to make sure myself or maybe a friend in here to be a sociopreneur. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, so you want advice how to be a social entrepreneur? Yeah? Oh God. Maybe anyone else would like to start?
You are philosophy, psychology student. You know, I guess the main difference between a social enterprise and a normal enterprise is, I guess, because you are selling something, masih jual barang kan. So the difference is the motivation of the customer. So we've been talking about from the entrepreneur side, right, the social mission, but the customer side is why did they buy that product? Right? Oftentimes it's cheapest price or the newest color or something like that, right? But for the social customers, the motivation is the heart, the environment, health, or something like that. So as a psychology student, you study this, you research this. I guess that take that step. Look at it from the motivation of the customers, motivation of the employees, and then start your business. Right? You have studied this. I mean, I took one class of psychology. One. You know, imagine taking an entire degree on it. I think you are more than qualified.
I think my advice would be first find things that you like. Start with like finding your passion, and think how you can turn your passion into a business. Because to be able to do something really well, you really have to like that thing, you know. So yeah, find your passion, and then think about how you can make the business out of your passion. Then you can start to map out your business model and see where you can insert the impact in your business model. So after that process is done, you have a clear social business model, then you can just think about how to run your business just like as any normal business, you know, because the impact is embedded. So once you are operational, you're already creating social value. Yeah, so that would be my advice.
Yeah, that is actually very, very important. But also I think just remember that you cannot do this by yourself. And I think that's a very important thing. because again, you have two very different drivers. You have the profit and then you have the impact. And oftentimes, if you're by yourself, it's hard to navigate the two, intertwine between the two, and no one's keeping you in check. You know, it's like, hey, you're not thinking about this, hey, you're not thinking about that, because you have to think about them in parallel. It's not one first or the other one first. And I think if you're alone, it'll be very, I think, much harder to do that successfully. And also, for sure, try to embed your impact into the business and not as like just a byproduct. So when you embed it into the business, as the business grows, everything naturally grows. And also, I think one advice, you may have a very big vision of what your impact is, but it helps to do it step by step. And you might not be able to reach your dream goal within the year, within the 5 years, 10 years. But as you get there slowly, you will eventually get there. Because it's hard to approach one big dream immediately, but to take it little bit by little bit by little bit, it's that much more reachable. So I think in that context, try to, in a way, scale it or level it in a way where it's much more achievable.
That's a very good advice. I think you should like quote it somewhere, put it on your Instagram or like on the web. I totally agree. Having a co-founder and like have that division, one thinks about business, one thinks about impact, and you need to balance each other is very important. It makes things easier and less confused. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much to our speakers. Is there anyone who would like to ask a question? Over there, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Calvin. I want to ask about the definition. Actually, I just know this word, social enterprise, yesterday when I scroll my Instagram. And then I swipe to left. Oh, it's a good deal. It's free and we get F&B and merchandise, so it's good. So I come to here. And then I do some research about social enterprise, and I found two big definitions about it. The first one is it's a business who look for profit, but along with it, they give the good impact to the social. Or the second one is it's just an ordinary company, but after they get the profit, they use some amount to make a social action like scholarship or make a foundation. Foundation, oh yeah. Which one is the correct definition of social enterprise? The first one or the second one? Thank you.
Thank you, Calvin.
Okay, so as I said earlier, it is, thank you for the question. I think it's a question that comes up so often. And I don't know if you've seen this, but there's actually a chart, like a 6-stage chart of, on the left is the NGO, and on the right is a corporate entity. So in reality, there are different stages of where a business can be. Like for example, the two that you mentioned would be on a different scale on that 6 levels. Jadi kayak contoh, for example, if you mention a company with a non-profit foundation, it's technically not a social enterprise because it's not a business. Yang kasih impactnya kan foundationnya. And that is part of the company's zonation part. So it's not driven by business. So in that context, it's on that scale, it's not on the social, in the middle. Versus if you're a business and you have impact embedded in your business or it's part of the product, you are somewhere in the between. Gay, what's the name of the chart, yeah? I'm going to Google it right now because I think it's a very useful scale for you to see where a business is and whether you're a social enterprise or whether you're a business that's only socially responsible or if you're an NGO who has a business. Because technically they're all different. They all have some sort of impact or not. But at least you know how to differentiate this business. Bentar ya. If anyone else wants to answer while I Google.
No, I'm trying to Google this as well. I think I saw one. Was it in Plus or Mark Plus? Yeah. Did you have that model on your website?
don't have that model yet. Belum.
Mark Plus deh. Just Google social business model Mark Plus.
I found it.
You found it? Okay.
How to flash it? Okay, Aziz will do it.
Oh, okay.
So
Biar kebayang gitu.
I think. No.
Okay. So I think this might help answer some of the questions because it is quite confusing, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Every country, every company, everyone have a different definition of what social enterprise really means. I don't have it on my PowerPoint.
It's there. Like they're going to Google it.
Oh, okay. They're going to Google it.
Yeah.
So yes, it's an important question. It's not just a first day. It's not social entrepreneur 101. I mean, you just found out about social entrepreneurship doesn't mean that this question isn't something everyone's struggling with. Because there are businesses that say that, cigarette companies, they hire tobacco farmers. They are saying that, hey, we are a social enterprise, right? But, doesn't, so the mission's important. Are you helping people accidentally because you happen to be in a low-income area? Or are you actually helping people intentionally? I think intentionality is very important. I mean, it's good. I'm not saying that don't hire people because don't work for people because they're just a business. But I'm saying that if you want to be a social entrepreneur, the intention is key. The chart is very, very good. I'm glad you shared. And it's important enough that we're struggling to put it up for you.
And again, I think even the governments are asking this question, so you're not alone. Okay, everyone have yet to really have a black and white answer. If it comes up, I will definitely send out an email to everyone. But again, I think this chart will be very useful individually for you to gauge where you're at and whether you're a social enterprise or whether you're a business with socially responsible and whatnot. When we find it. But maybe you can go to the next question while, yeah.
So to the next question over here.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Anak. I'm from Salatiga, Central Java. I'm not working in Jakarta, but I just attended an event 2 days ago, and then I saw this information from Facebook that is really amazing. So basically, my background is education and teaching, and I love writing. I have a book. The author is me, and then it's really interesting to know social entrepreneur, and then like my question is, what is the indicator of social in this entrepreneur means? Because for example, me, my passion is teaching. Then out of my class or university, for example, if I want to open English course, or also I want to open, for example, writing course, so it's actually like give impact, and then my book is also be product, but then it's kind of service, not like, so I don't know what the indicator of social means in the entrepreneurship itself, and also can you give me suggestion how to integrate, for example, writing or academic sectors, but then give more impact by doing social entrepreneur or something. Thank you so much.
Don't say you're selfish. I think education is one of the lucky sector where naturally your impact is just part of the whole system. I don't know if anyone knows, but there's this thing called Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. Every country in the world, every corporate in the world is taking that as a category, foundation of their impact. And I think ada 17 ya kalau nggak salah 17. And feel free to look through the 17. Pick and choose which one you think applies to you. And I think that'll be a very good start for you to measure what kind of impact do you have socially. And the good thing about SDG is that the whole world agrees that that is the 17 points. So if you put this in any of your pitch deck, people will also get it. But how to embed the education?
I think broadly it's good that you're thinking about it. Entrepreneurship, just because it's for profit and everything, don't say selfish. You're not. It's amazing you wrote a book. I can barely write anymore. But I guess where the social comes in is like who are the beneficiaries of it? You know, it's like teaching English. Wall Street English teaches English, you know, but you want, and it's great. They provide English lessons to those who need it, everything, but they price it for purely for profit. The whole thing is for profit. Right? There's not giving back, all these things, and that's fine. It's a good business. I think it helps a lot of people. But for you personally, are you helping a ethnic community? I think that the term was very correct. You know, look at a community focus. Who is it you're trying to sell to? Who is it that you're hiring? Who you're employing? All that creates a social part. Yep. So it's social awareness and making decisions based on that social awareness. And
yeah. No, just want to add, if you, there is an example of social enterprise that is in the field of education. It's called gurubumi.com. Gurubumi.com. Just check it out later, and then you can learn about their model. So that is categorized as a social enterprise because they are pushing another way to in education. So usually education is all about textbook ya. They visualize it using apa sih infographic ya namanya infographic, and they embed also environmental education to like normal conventional education systems di sekolah-sekolah gitu. Jadi mereka masukin itu juga, and if I'm not mistaken, they have the pricing for the international schools who can afford it, but also they have like subsidized pricing for schools with like social mission or environmental mission, tapi nggak punya spending power untuk pakai service mereka, gitu. And I think there are different ways you can see or the impact of your company, the product itself. Kalau misalnya education kan berarti produknya sendiri punya social impact ya. And then the employment side, jadi kayak are you employing the marginalized communities atau kayak people from less advantaged background, atau dari customer. Kalau customernya sendiri emang orang yang kayak Wall Street itu kan orang yang bisa ke Wall Street obviously adalah orang yang punya spending power dong gitu kan. Nah kalau misalnya kalian bisa bikin model yang bisa either one for one misalnya, jadi kalau misalnya setiap orang datang ke Wall Street and then one person gets education for free, itu bisa juga dibikin seperti itu. Jadi lihat dari produk, your company operations, sama customers, sama beneficiary. Jadi basically kalau lo bisa bilang itu social enterprise kalau misalnya ada marginalized community yang benefited intentionally from your business operations gitu.
So again, it goes back to the intention and also whether it is accidentally becoming the beneficiary or really it's the intention from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Right, thank you so much. And the very final question to all the panels here. So now I'd like to hear from each of the perspective why anyone should join this Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy. Starting from the hub of the social entrepreneur first, from the plus.
Before I go on to that question, please Google social enterprise hybrid spectrum. That was the sixth level of social enterprise scale that I think you guys can use to measure yourself.
We were sending out also.
Okay, you're sending out, perfect. And to answer that question, why join the program? Honestly, social enterprise is so new and young that there are not too many programs out there that are doing this much for a social enterprise, so in depth. And I think the opportunity that you guys have is opportunity that a lot of people never had before. So please take opportunity that you have all these reach to all these mentors, all these people who have experienced this before. Maybe different industry, but the stories are pretty much similar, and learn from us. We made all of the mistakes. Don't repeat our mistakes. Learn from our mistakes. And we're all here so happy to share, so willing to share. And so we're an open book. Please just come and read our book, which is us.
Yeah, great. Well, so yeah, like great opportunity. I totally agree. And also I feel that, I feel and I think Indonesia really needs more social entrepreneurs to help the government solve social and environmental issues, because Indonesia has so many social and environmental issues you can choose. You can align your passion with the social cause or like environmental issue that you want to solve. great opportunities there, many problems to solve. And I think it will provide you the fulfillment which cannot be bought by money, you know, when you are in this industry, just like what William said.
I mean, so Stephanie will be teaching during the academy, right? Helga will be a mentor. So I think there are two excellent reasons why you should join. But also just now the quote that we are definitely going to quote, because my own personal motto is step by step. I fully believe in that. The other side, I have a partner. That's why this program, at least 3 people. Then the other part of the quote was step by step, right? Take things each step at a time. The whole program is designed step by step. So if right now you have zero idea, you never heard of, like just now Calvin, have not heard what social entrepreneurship is about, have no clue of a product, have no prototype, have no friends to do this with, not no friends. Yeah. I'm sure you all have many, many friends. Yeah. Have no partners in this. This is a starting point. You have the knowledge, you have the reason, the opportunity. Ajak teman who's potential partners to come for the mentoring, for the coaching classes. Prepare the application, right? Do the best job as you can. And then if you get the team, you get the opportunity to be invited to join the academy. There's another step. Then you have a presentation day right here to test out this team, new team, or it can be an established team. So each step at a time and towards having your own launch here. So from you sitting there to at the end of it, you'll be presenting with 10 other teams. To the end of it, you have the stage on your own to launch your product or service. Right? So these are steps, right? If you say tomorrow, launch your product here, I got takut like, oh my God, you know. But with these steps, it's achievable, yes. And we're here to help you.
Thank you so much to all the speakers. Please give an applause, everyone. Thank you for all the inspiration that we understand better about this Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy on how we can really take one step at a time and also to really learn mistakes from the others as well so that we will not repeat it again in our case, and also to really find our partners, find our team members so that we can really grow up together. So again, thank you so much, and hopefully we all here can be more and more motivated to be the next social entrepreneurs. Be sociopreneur. And over back to Aziz.
Thank you very much, Vania. Wait, wifi dulu. Oh, mau minta wifi dulu, oke. Sebelum nanti officially launch ya kita. Kita wifi dulu dengan peserta. Oke, dari sini. Ya. 1, bisa ya. Oke, 1, 2, 3. Yeay. Terima kasih banyak teman-teman. Terima kasih Helga, Stephanie, Pak William, dan Vania. Oke. Terima kasih teman-teman. Bagaimana tadi? Masih ada pertanyaan? Masih banyak ya kira-kira? Nah teman-teman bisa bertanya, kita ada booth di depan. Kalau mau daftar langsung, mau ada pertanyaan apapun silahkan langsung ditanyakan di booth kita yang ada di depan. Nanti juga akan ada F&B yang tadi sudah disebutkan, yang bisa teman-teman nikmati juga. Nah setelah ini kita akan officially launch the program Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy. Namun sebelumnya aku nanti akan minta bantuan teman-teman untuk nge-launch program ini ya. Nanti bareng-bareng. Oke. There has been a significant growth of social enterprise in Indonesia in the past 5 years. Expanding into new sectors such as creative industries, agriculture, and education. Working with the communities and for communities, social enterprises are opening up more inclusive employment opportunities that reach out to different minority groups, such as a woman and people with disabilities, and could be the answer to overcoming poverty and the unequal distribution of wealth in the country. Oke, kita akan bareng-bareng nge-launch program ini. Kita siapkan dulu videonya. Nah, nanti teman-teman akan bantu aku menghitung ya dari angka 5. Oke? Oke, to officially launch the Young Changemaker Social Enterprise Academy, please help me to count from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oke, teman-teman aku minta untuk menutup matanya semua. Kita tutup mata. And imagine where the world full of the good people doing good things and making a good livings. Jika teman-teman ingin menjadi entrepreneur, please raise your hand. Angkat tangannya dengan tetap tutup mata. Turunkan tangannya lagi. Tetap tutup mata. If you want to be entrepreneur while also doing good, jika ingin terjadi entrepreneur yang juga tetap berbuat baik, silakan angkat tangannya. Doing social good. Turunkan tangannya lagi. Nah, jika teman-teman berminat untuk mengikuti program ini, bisa angkat tangan lagi. Wow, a lot. Turunkan tangan lagi. Dan juga, if you want to be part of the journey, this journey, please raise your hand. Wow, a lot of people. Okay, now open your eyes. And please, we proudly present the launch of Young Changemaker Social Enterprise Academy. Give applause to this launch. Young Changemaker Social Enterprise Academy adalah program 3 bulan untuk mengembangkan kapasitas anggota YCSE di Indonesia untuk menjadi sociopreneur. Akan ada 3 bulan aktivitas yang menarik mulai dari coaching klinik hingga nanti 4 hari bootcamp dan diakhiri dengan teman-teman bisa nge-launch programnya di sini. Jika teman-teman berminat untuk mengikuti program ini, silahkan bisa apply di campaign.com/besociopreneur sebelum 10 Februari 2019. Nah, untuk officially launch, saya akan mengundang all the speakers and moderator. Ada Vania Santoso, Bapak William, Helga, Stephanie. Untuk maju ke sini, kita akan mengadakan photo op moment dengan sign Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Program. Silakan. Oh Helga, oke. Silakan teman-teman. Dengan ini program dari Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy telah dibuka. Silakan. Ya, teman-teman silakan. Terima kasih teman-teman semuanya. Dengan ini kita sudah memulai teman-teman. Jika mungkin tadi masih ada pertanyaan silahkan ditanyakan. Kita ada booth di depan dan juga teman-teman bisa network dengan para speakers. Dan juga ada beberapa mentor yang juga yang hadir di sini. Nanti teman-teman silahkan bertanya dan kita tunggu aplikasi teman-teman untuk mendaftar di Young Changemaker Social Enterprise Academy. Saya ucapkan terima kasih dan dengan launch ini saya menantang teman-teman semua yang ada di sini dan juga yang ada, nggak ada di rumah ya, kita nggak streaming. Oke, yang ada di rumah nantinya untuk juga join di Young Changemakers Social Enterprise Academy dan juga akan bertemu kita nanti di Bandung dan Jakarta di bulan Maret. Saya kembalikan lagi kepada America Guide. Thank you so much dan we'll see you soon in the coaching class. Yeah.
Boleh minta tepuk tangannya sekali lagi. untuk acara launching programnya hari ini dan juga untuk speaker kita yang hebat-hebat hari ini. Dan selanjutnya panitia sudah menyiapkan snack di luar. Silahkan dinikmati di luar, tidak boleh dibawa masuk ke dalam performance area. And hope to see you guys at another At America event. Bye, have a great evening everyone.